All right, next up we have a well-known man to present from Develop. It is Bill Beament, MD. Bill is a mining engineer from the Western Australian School of Mines and has more than 25 years of experience in the resources sector. He led the growth of Northern Star Resources, and I hope these numbers are right, Bill, and I'm sure you'll correct me if they're not, but 1 cent Shell to an ASX 50 company with a cap of over 15 billion. So very, very impressive track record. Bill credits much of his experience to the world-class teams he has built around him, and he is now developing the same approach to drive performance at Develop. Over to you, Bill.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Hux. It's been a year since I stood here to unveil what was essentially a new company. And I know back then there was a lot of people in this audience that were a bit confused and maybe a bit bemused as well by our hybrid business model of mine ownership and mining services. It's pretty simple though, it's the mineral resources business model but underground. So it's not surprising that Chris Ellison is now one of our biggest shareholders. Back then we had one exploration project, a handful of people and a vision. That vision was based on our firm belief that the world was entering a new chapter in which clean energy metals would be highly sought after, and an even stronger view that there was about to be an unprecedented shortage of skilled people, particularly in underground. A year later, we have 2 clean energy metal projects in Tier 1 locations, both advancing towards production, and we have the $400 million underground mining services agreement with Bellevue Gold. But most importantly, we've built a sensational team of underground mining specialists. The people we have been fortunate enough to attract has been our #1 achievement of the past year. As a result of the foundations we've laid over the past year, the door of opportunity is now wide open at Develop. And I'd love 2 groups of people to walk in that door. The first is those who may like to join the Develop team, and those who would like to join us on the journey as shareholders. For the benefit of prospective employees and investors alike, I want to be clear on one point. We're not setting out to create a mining behemoth. Nothing of the sort. In fact, I don't want to get in the ASX 100 again. We're aiming to be large enough to have genuine scale and the ability to capitalise on opportunities, small enough that senior management, including myself, can remain very hands-on, be involved in day-to-day decisions, and importantly, know everyone on site. This will help us achieve superior financial returns while providing a highly desirable work environment and great career pathways. I'll now take you through a brief timeline on what we've achieved over the past 12 months and I guess what's coming in the next 12 months. So last year we launched Develop at Diggers. We secured phase 1 of our $58 million strategic funding package from people like myself and other well-known investors. Then we commenced our drilling. We used $10 million of that money and we completed the drill out of our Sulphur Springs project. What we had to do there was a previous DFS that was delivered in 2018 that had a pretty healthy NPV of $500 million on much lower copper and zinc prices than today. But a third of that mineral inventory was inferred. So we've done that drilling and that was completed in a great effort from Top Drill and DDH1 did an amazing job up there considering you couldn't get anyone, drill rigs or people back then. Our underground mining services division was established and we got our first tender. Then in February 22, not that long ago, we acquired the Woodlawn zinc and copper mine in New South Wales. This was a fantastic acquisition. Previous owners invested $340 million building this asset, brand new processing plant, paste fill, new underground down to 300 vertical metres, new offices, workshop, change rooms, you name it. They left no stone unturned there. And we acquired that project for $30 million cash up front and a mixture of script as well, and some milestone related payments in the future that are success driven. That was an amazing acquisition, less than 10 cents in the dollar. Why were we attracted to that? Great historical production profile out of this asset. It pulled out 14 million tonnes at about 20% zinc equivalent. In today's terms, that's about $10 billion of revenue over a 20-year mine life, and it's only a 600,000 tonne mine, so an amazing acquisition. We raised 50 mil of capital to fund that. That was at a premium, and that went to pretty much the vast majority of all existing shareholders, including myself. That was a good job by Canaccord there as well, good plug. And we delivered our second suite of assays on Sulphur Springs, and I implore you to go back and have a look at the drill results on Sulphur Springs. If that was a blank canvas of a company, I'd be a 200 mil market cap just on Sulphur Springs drill results. In April 22, we were awarded the $400 million mining services agreement at Bellevue Gold. A big sing out to the Bellevue. Thank you very much to the board and the executive management team placing the faith, trust and confidence in the Develop team to bring on your fantastic and world-class gold project at Bellevue, just north of Leinster. So anyone that's looking for gold at Tiffany's, make sure it's got Bellevue Gold because it's the greenest in the country. And in May, we actually kicked that contract off on the 24th of May, and first full month of operating ship there and development, we broke the site record by 20% in the first full month, so a massive result and a great plug again to my team, to Spud, Jordan, Aaron and everyone on site. We really have assembled one of the world's best development crews, so great result there. And so the value creation in just 12 months, it's been pretty busy. We've got a 350 mil market cap, I've got 43 in the bank, I've got no debt, so I've got an enterprise value of about 300 mil. Yet we've got the building blocks there for a multi-billion dollar company. We've got two assets that in 3 to 5 years will be knocking out 50 to 70,000 tonne of annualised copper equivalent production. And we've got a mining service division, get 1 or 2 more contracts, and we should be turning over 300 or 400 mil a year in 3 or 5 years' time. So I think we're extremely cheap. So on to the next 12 months and what we're going to do. Today we just announced a resource update on Woodlawn. We reconfirmed the prior resource, but we made it much more robust. We used NTEC, we did MSOs, mining shape optimisers around the resources. So this is the most robust resource that Woodlawn has ever had. And also during that process, we identified an extra 5.1 million tonnes of very high-grade mineralisation associated with the old workings that hasn't come into that resource. So we're very excited about that. We will throw resources at looking at that. We have a brand new paste fill, and we have a hell of a lot of tailings, old tailings there that we can mix and send back underground. So we're super excited about that project because that could severely change this operation. We've already started our Woodlawn underground development. We're putting in a kilometre-long drill drive at the bottom of the mine. We're doing that to enable us to be able to drill out more of the inferred resource. We want to extend the known lenses down at dip. They're all open. We found some EM conductors, well, New Exco did in their due diligence. And also through this resource process, we found a heap more exploration targets. So that development's off and running, and Spud and the two Craigs over there have done an amazing job putting a team. Guys, we haven't advertised for anyone. Everyone's talking about people shortages, not at Develop. So what are we doing the rest of this quarter? We're going to do a resource update on Sulphur Springs. We've spent that $10 million. We know the drill spacing is going to convert a lot of the inferred, and we've also drilled the gaps and found more mineralisation. So expect that to grow and the confidence level to grow. And very importantly, from an investor perspective, is we're going to launch our company in September. So we're going to do a very detailed company strategy, vision and 5-year business plan, and we're going to culminate that with a site visit to Woodlawn for our large shareholders, future shareholders, and a lot of analysts, and hopefully good ones that want to cover a great story over the next 3 to 5 years. December quarter, Woodlawn drilling will commence underground. We will have assays during that period, and we're starting ramping up our mining services. Basically, quarter on quarter, we're adding trucks, loaders and drills at Bellevue. This year's revenue is about $50, $60 million for mining services. Next year it goes to 120, 130, and pretty much goes consistently 130 thereafter. March, again, more ramp up, more assays, but very importantly, we'll give a technical and financial update on our Sulphur Springs project. The combination of resource update, reserve, mine plan, new costings of the project will basically generate a new NPV on that project. So we're super excited about how that's shaping up, and they'll get delivered in the March quarter. On to June, again, further ramp up. It's, I think we ramp up to back end of June, we're up to about 240 people at Bellevue. More assays at Woodlawn. And at this stage, we should be in a really good position to start to inform the market on an update on the Woodlawn project. This thing's fully built, guys. It went into administration through COVID, March 2020, when they were commissioning this. So everything there is brand spanking new. Doesn't take us much to actually turn that project on. So we're looking forward to the June quarter to giving an update on our vision of that asset and potentially when that gets switched back on. So, as I said, we've got some amazing building blocks in the business already. There's 4 great companies on here. If you look at their total shareholder return over the past 5 years, 360%, we're heading on the same journey in Develop. We've got the building blocks, we've got the mining services. The mining services division in the coming year or two is going to well and truly cover all the costs of this business. So there is no more dilution for shareholders. So hopefully we've got an amazing platform now with no dilution. We've got the building blocks, we've got the team in place. I think our value creation will well and truly outstrip these 4 amazing companies. So look, Develop's in an enviable position with a superb team and 3 outstanding opportunities. And we have a unique offering to people. That is one of the factors which drives our competitive advantage when it comes to securing the best people. And given the huge importance of people, it is one of our key advantages from an investor perspective. Now, I know what you're thinking, he's the MD, so of course he would say that. So let's hear directly from those on the Develop shop floor.
The world's changing. It's good to be part of something actually contributing to society.
Decarbonisation is critical. It's our future.
The world depends on the product that we produce.
We wanted to be not just another mining company and set the standard.
A productive, efficient, cost-effective team that can change the industry for other companies.
I'd like to break records.
We're not scared to take a risk or do things differently. We will build something. We're not afraid to get our hands dirty.
Just the synergies have all come together and we're building this company that's unlike any other one that I've been involved with. Everybody likes to leave a legacy and create a legacy.
We've had umpteenth phone calls and emails for people wanting to get on board.
I personally had people calling me up before we even got the keys to try and be a part of this project and try and get involved in the ground floor. So really good for us to have our pick of the best and brightest in the industry.
They know what they're doing and it's good to learn from the best.
For me, it's more about enjoying being at work than anything else, really. Throwing money at people doesn't really mean anything anymore. Everybody's paying heaps of money. Everybody gets whatever roster they want.
I like to know that I'm creating a difference and progressing not just myself, but a company and I guess a culture.
To produce the turbines, the wires for transmitting the electricity. And I feel very passionate about it.
You've got to remember working in a good place. People can look back and say that's what we started.
There's so much potential for growth. And again, it's about us getting in good people and pushing those people through.
People are everything. We put this team together, hand-picking the best in the industry, and they are what makes this company.
I think it's hugely important to train the next generation and train them well.
You can't get out of a book, you can't get out of a piece of paper, a procedure. It's something that you need contact with people down there on the job.
All we've got is upside, big things to come.
A lot of years to come, long time, definitely.
I'm just genuinely excited about it.
When you see the people achieve, you love to see that.
The leadership take time with everyone that they work with because they recognise the power of people.
I'm looking to buy some shares fairly shortly myself, so I think it's probably a smart move to get in early.
Dynamic.
Collaborative.
Exciting.
Welcoming.
Organised.
Positive.
Family.
Team.
Quality.
Leadership driven.
Trust.
My future.
Our future.
The future.
Develop.
Great presentation, Bill, and thank you very much. We are running a little bit behind, conscious of time, so perhaps if anyone has questions, maybe I think we'll have to take it to the booth. Bill, are you heading over there now? Yeah, so if anyone wants to grab Bill, he's available at the booth.